Hello, we will start from where we have left in last class. Question number 3. With reference to International Fund for Animal Welfare IFAW operation and mission, consider the following statement. First, it work only in the national park declared by UNEP. Tell me one thing, if any organization is working for animal welfare, why will he or why will the organization will limit its work to the UNEP? It may extend its work to different wildlife and there are many categorization by IUCN also. They categorize wildlife sanctuaries category 4, category 3, etc. IFAW promotes the coexistence strategy between wildlife and local community. True, तो only की वजह से गलत हो रहा है ये. And this is not the fact that कि only जहाँ पे होगा आप वहाँ पे हमेशा गलत करेंगे. There are some exceptions also. IFAW supports legal policy reforms in animal trafficking and rescue operation. True. So answer will be only 2. Let's move to the explanation part. Statement 1 is incorrect because IFAW does not limit itself to the UNEP declared park. It works in the wide array of protected area, community lands, and even disaster affected zones. Hence option A is not correct. IFAW headquarters is in USA and work globally including Africa, Asia and Americans Arctic. It is known for its room to roam strategy, which encourages wildlife corridors, community partnership and conflict mitigation. It actively lobbies for policy reform, especially under CITES and domestic wildlife laws, to curb illegal trade and boost rescue network. About International Fund for Animal Welfare IFAW, a leading global organization or NGO dedicated to animal welfare conservation, established in 1969 by Brian Davis. It is based in the USA with the operation spanning over 40 countries. Objective: protect and rescue individual animals and wildlife population globally. Conserve natural habitat to maintain ecological balance. What are some of the key functions? Some of the key functions are wildlife rescue, habitat preservation, advocacy for legal framework, public policy to protect animals, public awareness. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statement about Silva Guard wildlife detection and suppression system. This could be asked in the examination. Silva Guard that was recently unveiled. It uses underwater drone to monitor temperature and moisture level in the lakes near the forest. It operates automatically autonomously and can detect fire about they are visible to satellite. It is integrated too with an IoT based forest monitoring system for early alerts. Let's move to the answer. Silva is built for autonomous operation integrated with SilvaNet. Dried's IoT forest sensor network. These sensors are mounted in the forest environment to detect early stages. Statement 1 is incorrect because underwater drones are not part of the system. Underwater drones are not part of this system. SilvaGuard autonomous operations. SilvaGuard technology is entirely terrestrial and aerial, focused on drone development in forested environment, not aquatic system. Silva Let's see some of the point of SilvaGuard. SilvaGuard is a prototype drone based wildfire detection and suppression system. If there is any question on wildfire, you can use SilvaGuard prototype system. Developed by Dried Network, a Berlin based climate tech company specializing in forest monitoring and environmental sensor network, aims to deliver a rapid autonomous wildfire response system that reduces fire damage and prevent large scale CO2 emission. Some of the other key features are integration with SilvaNet, works with the Dried SilvaNet IoT sensor network developed across forests to detect fires even before visible flames emerge. Autonomous launch upon fire detection, drone and launch automatically from solar power hanger, real-time imaging with the thermal cameras, obstacle avoidance system and infrared sensor to provide live visuals and precise location. And it is used for suppression capability. Future version to use sonic wave technology to extinguish fire using the sound frequency. Consider the following statement about biodiversity heritage site BHS. Only national park and wildlife sanctuary can be declared as a BHS. Obviously not. There are many other hotspot sites which can be declared as a BHS. BHS can be proposed by local panchayat or biodiversity management committee. Yes, a site must contain endemic or threatened species to qualify as a BHS. True. So answer will be B. Moving to explanation part. BHS can ecologically or culturally significant site including sacred groves, community forest, agricultural landscape or wetlands. They do not need to be protected areas under the Wildlife Protection Act. They do not need to be protected under the wildlife protected areas. Statement 2. According to section 37 of the Biology Diversity Act 2002, State Biodiversity Board may initiate proposal for BHS status, but often initial proposal comes from the panchayat or by the local biodiversity management committee. Statement 3 is correct. Endemism, rarity, ecological sensitivity, cultural and spiritual value are key criteria, and there must be the endemic species to qualify for the BHS. Question number 6. Why is Kashampeti Sacred Grove significant in the context of biodiversity governance in India? Answer: it is Tamil Nadu's second biodiversity heritage site declared under Biological Diversity Act. Kashampeti Sacred Grove is in Dindigul district, Tamil Nadu. Was officially notified as second biodiversity heritage site of the state under section 37 of the Biological Diversity Act 2002. The first was in Aripatti in Madurai district. These sites are selected for their ecological fragility, rich biodiversity, and cultural significance. Kashampatti, also known as Veer Kovil Group, Kashampatti is also known as Veer Kovil Group, are both of ecological importance as well as pollination network wildlife corridors. It supports local pollination network and wildlife corridors near the Algar-Malai Reserve Forest, and a spiritual significance as the community worship the deity Varanan here. The site was proposed for BHS status through community engagement, Panchayat Council, Tamil Nadu Biodiversity Board. Option A confuses with the FRA provision, which are unrelated. Question number 7. Consider the following statement about the biodiversity heritage site BHS. Statement 1. Once declared BHS are governed under the Forest Right Act by Gram Sabha. Sacred groves with spiritual value alone can't qualify as a BHS. Third is State Biodiversity Board are institution involved in declaring BHS. Biodiversity heritage site. See what the explanation says. Explanation कहता है BHS are not governed under the Forest Right Act. BHS जो बायोडाइवर्सिटी एक्ट जो है वो फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट के अंदर नहीं कवर होता, तो फिर किसके अंदर कवर होता है? बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी एक्ट. किसके अंडर? बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी एक्ट. एंड दिस कुड बी द पॉइंट ऑफ एरर मेकिंग. एग्जाम में आप एरर यहीं पे करोगे. सो BHS इज अ पार्ट ऑफ बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी एक्ट, नॉट बी से बायोलॉजिकल, आप याद रखिएगा, नॉट फॉरेस्ट. State Biodiversity Board, Biodiversity Management Committee. And there has been several PYQs. When we will discuss PYQs, we will see. Statement 2 is incorrect. Sites with only spiritual value such as sacred groups can indeed be declared BHS if they also support ecological functions like pollination, microclimate regulation. Pollination, microclimatic regulation, endemic flora and fauna. Kashampatti sacred grove is a perfect example. Statement 3. State Biodiversity Board play a central role in conducting ecological assessment, community consultation, forwarding proposal, government of gadget notification BHS. Question number 8. Hard coral differ from soft coral in which of the following ways? Hard corals have limestone skeleton while soft coral do not. Hard corals and soft corals differ fundamentally in their structure and ecological roles. Hard corals, also known as stony corals, produce rigid. Corals के बारे में हम लोग जानते हैं कि टू पार्ट्स होते हैं. एक तो जूज जेंथलेज होता है, जिसमें कि सॉफ्ट कोरल also houses जूज जेंथलेज, एंड दूसरा पार्ट पॉलिप्स होता है. Hard corals and soft coral differs fundamentally in their structure. Hard corals, also known as stony corals, produce rigid calcium carbonate skeleton which forms the backbone of the coral reefs. These skeleton provides structural support, enabling them to create expansive systems that serves as a habitat for the numerous marine species. Hard coral rely on the symbiotic relationship between zooxanthellae. Microscopic algae lives with the tissue, providing them with nutrients through photosynthesis, while in soft coral they lack this limestone skeleton, making them more flexible and often tree-like fan-shaped in appearance. They are non-reef building organisms, typically inhabits the marine environment including reef areas, while soft coral also houses zooxanthellae. They are dependent on them for survival. Moving to the next question. देखिए मैं ज़्यादा बेसिक्स कवर नहीं कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि अब क्वेश्चंस में टाइम ज़्यादा लग जाएगा. आई एम होपिंग दैट आपके बेसिक्स क्लियर हैं, एंड जहाँ जहाँ पे ज़रूरत पड़ेगा वहाँ वहाँ पर मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा बेसिक्स बताऊँगा. दैट इज़ द मेन पॉइंट. Moving to the question number 9. Coral reefs are found only in the tropical region due to the warm condition. जहाँ पे ओनली आ जाए आपके कान खड़े हो जाने चाहिए. ये नहीं कि ऑलवेज गलत होगा, बट क्या ट्रॉपिकल जो है सिर्फ ट्रॉपिकल क्लाइमेट में ही कोरल पाया जाता है? नो, वी नो दैट देयर आर areas where during Pleistocene, it is a geological time scale period. Several corals have been buried below the Arctics or modern day Arctic and Antarctic. तो ये नहीं है कि कोरल सिर्फ वार्म कंडीशन में भी पाए जाते हैं, कोल्ड कंडीशन में भी आपको मिल जाएंगे. Corals can survive long term without zooxanthellae under the normal condition. नो, कोरल जो है बिना zooxanthellae के सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएंगे क्योंकि दे आर इन symbiotic relationship. Coral bleaching occurs when coral expels zooxanthellae due to stress factor like rising temperature. Yes. कोरल के लिए देखिए सी सरफेस टेम्परेचर अराउंड 25 to 27 डिग्री होना चाहिए. इससे ज़्यादा या इससे एक्सीड करेगा, ये तो मैंने साइक्लोन का बता दिया, इससे थोड़ा सा कम ही रहता है. Coral reefs are complex marine system primarily found in tropical region but can also exist in coral waters such as deep sea corals. जो मैंने प्लेस्टोसीन वाला बताया वो. While tropical corals thrive in warm shallow water, not deep water in cold areas, while in tropical region it is in shallow water. Statement 2 is incorrect. Coral rely on the symbiotic relationship between zooxanthellae, a type of algae, for energy and nutrition. Zooxanthellae form the photosynthesis, providing essential nutrient to the coral. zooxanthellae का काम रहता है कि ये न्यूट्रिएंट प्रोवाइड करता है. किसको? कोरल को. स्टेटमेंट थर्ड इज करेक्ट बिकॉज टेम्परेचर जब बढ़ता है या फिर पॉल्यूशन की वजह से आउटर पार्ट ऑफ द कोरल जो है वो झरना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्पीसीज इज एंडेमिक इन नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व? एंडेमिक नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व में कौन है? स्टार आइड बुश फ्रॉग. ये न्यू टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस है, आप इसको ध्यान दीजिएगा. स्टार आइड बुश फ्रॉग. इज एन एम्फीबियन स्पीसीज. किस टाइप का स्पीसीज है? स्टार आइड बुश फ्रॉग एम्फीबियन है. स्पीसीज एंडेमिक टू द नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व. नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व कहाँ पे है? यहाँ पे. यहाँ पे दो बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व है, एक तो नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व है, दूसरा है अगस्तमाला बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व. नीचे the reserve is renowned for rich biodiversity and high level of endemism, housing a variety of unique flora and fauna. The star-eyed bush frog is one of the regional exclusive species adapted to cool and moist forest condition. It is typically found in mountain forest and grassland, making its survival intrinsically linked to Nilgiris ecosystem. Other species mentioned like great Indian bustard, olive ridley turtles, Bengal tigers are not endemic to the Nilgiri biosphere reserves but found in the diverse habitat across India. तो इसको आप एलिमिनेशन से भी कर सकते थे। बंगाल टाइगर तो ऑब्वियसली बंगाल में पाया ही जाएगा, और भी जगह एमपी में भी आपको दिख जाएंगे। एमपी में बहुत सारे टाइगर रिजर्व है, वहाँ पे दिख जाएंगे। ऑलिव रिडले टर्टल आपको उड़ीसा के गहिरमाथा बीच पे दिख जाएंगे, और भी जगह दिख जाएंगे। ये ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड जो है आपको राजस्थान में दिख जाएंगे, गुजरात में दिख जाएंगे, जिसको वधावन बोलते हैं। स्टार आइड बुश फ्रॉग, ये आपको, तो आप एलिमिनेशन से जा सकते थे इसमें। Consider the following statement about the impact of pathogen spillover. Pathogen spillovers. Try to read the statement. Managed honeybee are unaffected by the pathogen spillover in shared habitat. No. जब पैथोजन इम्पैक्ट होगा तो हनी बीज भी इम्पैक्ट होंगे। तो स्टेटमेंट अनएफेक्टेड बोल रहा है, तो अनएफेक्टेड तो ये तो गलत होगा। सेकेंड इज पैथोजन spillover improves the biodiversity of wild pollinators species by natural selection. पैथोजन जब आएंगे तो वो कैसे इम्प्रूव करेगा बायोडाइवर्सिटी ऑफ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन? नो। पैथोजन spill back wild pollinators often result in eradication of disease in eradication of disease. इनफैक्ट डिजीज तो बढ़ेगा पैथोजन के आने से, तो ये भी गलत है, ये भी गलत है। आंसर इज विल बी डी। Pathogen spillover refers to the transmission of disease from one species, often managed population like honeybees, to another, such as pollinators, shared environment, leading to the significant ecological consequences. Statement 1 is incorrect because managed honeybee are affected by the pathogen spillback. This occurs when pathogens having infected wild pollinators return to managed honeybee population, often in more virulent forms, exacerbating the disease impact. Statement 2 is incorrect. Pathogen spillovers typically reduces biodiversity. Wild pollinators species which often lack immunity to introduce pathogens can experience severe population decline, threatening ecosystem dependent on population. Statement 3 is also incorrect because pathogen spillback does not eradicate disease in managed honeybee. In fact, it increases. Question number 12. Consider the following statement regarding characteristics of oriental pied hornbill. It is largest hornbill found in Asia. It is highly adaptable to widespread spread across its range. It is नहीं, सबसे पहले देखिए हाईली अडेप्टेबल रहता तो इसके बारे में पूछा ही नहीं जाता। तो मेरे ख्याल से स्टेटमेंट 2 करेक्ट नहीं है। इट इज नोन एज फॉरेस्ट इंजीनियर्स। यस, it is primarily habitat in subtropical and tropical most moist lowland forest. Statement 1 incorrect. The oriental pied hornbills is Oriental pied hornbills is not the largest hornbill species in Asia. It is in fact the smallest and one of the most common hornbill species found in the region. स्टेटमेंट 2 करेक्ट है, मेरे हिसाब से गलत लग रहा था देखिए, बट यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेनेशन देखते हैं क्या कर रहा है. The oriental pied hornbill is highly adaptable and thrives in various environments across its range, including forest, plantation, even human-altered landscape. Statement 3 is correct. It is known as forest engineer. Correct, primarily includes subtropical moist lowlands. True. Question number 13. Consider the following statement regarding the procedure for notification of tiger reserves in India. Only the NTCA can notify the tiger reserves under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Incorrect. Section 38 V Wildlife Protection Act says the state government, not the NTCA, has the authority to notify an area as a tiger reserve. NTCA के पास authority नहीं है, जबकि state government के पास authority है. Evaluates proposal submitted by the state government but does not directly notify reserves. Statement 2 is the core zone of Statement 2 क्या है? The core zone of tiger reserves allow sustainable human habitation and activities. No, कोर जोन में अलाउ नहीं किया जाता है. हाँ, पेरिफेरी में आप रह सकते हैं, बफर जोन में आप रह सकते हैं. The state government submit its report to the NTCA for evaluation approval. True. So answer 3 is the only correct option. Moving to the next question. The buffer zone is primarily created. बफर जोन और कोर जोन के बारे में क्वेश्चन है. The buffer zone is primarily created to minimize human-tiger conflict. The core zone allows regulated ecotourism activities for revenue generation. कोर जोन में कुछ भी अलाउ नहीं किया जाता है. The core zone is a critical tiger habitat and given highest protection status. Yes, 3 is correct, 2 is incorrect, 1 is correct. 1 and 3. So answer will be B. What are the key features of recirculating aquaculture system? It utilizes mechanical and biological filtration to recycle water. RAS relied on the recirculating aquaculture system, relied on the advanced filtration system to remove waste and pathogens, ensuring water quality and control condition for the aquaculture, reducing the need for antibiotics. A tank-based farming system that recycle water through the mechanical and biological filtration. How it works: water is filtered to remove the waste and pathogens, provide controlled condition for temperature, oxygen, and water cleanliness, ensure biosecurity with reduced need of antibiotics. Let me see how much page is left. Around 66 questions in environment is there, so remaining we will cover in remaining classes or next classes. Thank you.